What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the
fuck? What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are Lit that Teezy, man. Turn. Today, to motherfucking day. Show you outside. Big Crip and the gang show you outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia do your thing, and Texas, stand the fuck up. Each day is a new day to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, always fight back. Never let somebody tell you who you are, but also never put yourself in a position of alone. Let's stay humble. Let's go on revolution on this movement. Keep Yahweh first. Coming to these black Hebrew Israelites. As a real Jew, we out here. Alright? Boom. Today, to motherfucking day. Show you outside. Big Crip and the gang show you outside shit, man. Turn up. So the young Dolph, Big Jook, Yo Gotti. So what people are trying to say, man, is they trying to say Cornelius. If y'all know who that is, he the nigga who basically kind of put the whole group down together to put the hit, help put the hit, like not put the hit, but like make the hit happen against young Dolph. You know what I'm saying? He already snitched. They already done said what it said. It is what it is. They try to say that Cornelius, he knew Big Jook and more of the people part of CNG. They trying to say that he know who killed Big Jook and this other dude named Teezy, Robinson or some shit. He know the person and he gonna snitch to get the niggas out on the Big Jook murder and all them. So he get out for the Dolph shit. We gotta get into it, man. Hey man, say man, shout out to True Results TV. Hey, is Cornelius the niggas who set up helped set up young Dolph? Is he giving out the murderers who killed Jook and them? Man, this shit getting crazy.
Now, did Quet ever tell you that he had, that either he or someone else had wiped the card out?
Quet?
Yeah.
Nah, Justin told me that he had somebody wiped the card out.
And you were testified about leaving your cell phone in there?
Yeah, I left it in the blue phone.
In the glove box. All right. But you had already went to pressure world and done all that by the time you go back to wipe it. You know, that's
pressure world done what?
Got your phone.
Yeah, I went to pressure world today. Right after we shut off, like after we split up from the apartment, I went to pressure world.
Right there. What he's saying is, right after we shot Dolph and we went, changed clothes and cleaned up our bullet wounds, I met Quet Govan at Pressure World. Pressure World is a car wash in Orange Mound, walking distance from Govan's house. That's what Cornelius is testifying to. That Govan walked across the street, got the phone, that Cornelius' phone out of the glove compartment box, and met Cornelius at Pressure World on the same day. Not too long after they gunned down the Flipper Man. That's one strike. That's the reason why, one of the reasons why he's trying to actively get rid of Cornelius Smith. Because that testimony alone shows that. Well, we're gonna break it down segment by segment, but I want to say R.I.P. rest of Desmond Rogers, who was murdered right in front of Quet's Govan's house. Shortly after, they found a white Mercedes, which was also
in front of his house,
coincidentally parked across the street
in front of their house
from Govan's house. So I don't want to hear no, Govan didn't know, because there's 2 strikes right there. Let's go. True.
Same day.
When you talked about in your testimony about getting a car covered. When is that in relation to when you wipe the car down?
Like when Quinn gave me the money for the car cover, it was the same day that they had found the car. Same, like early that morning, he gave me the money for the car cover, and I was gonna put it on there later on at night, but they found the car.
And just to be clear, if I remember right, you said Quet called you to say, "I need you to go come over here, get money for a car cover, no cover that car."
Yeah, a lot of niggas got sentenced to life, nigga. They
Were you part of the were you part of the conversation between Govan and Justin to be talking about that anyway?
Freeze niggas, man.
What you mean was like,
You just said he and Justin were talking about that. Were you part of those conversations?
Justin was telling him he was gonna send him some cash out money to buy a car cover so we could cover.
How do you know that?
Because I went over there, I was over Govan house, I had they got some pills for me and everything. Like, and we were talking about we had to get rid of this car. We were saying we need to get rid of this car, burn this car up.
And you're saying that Govan's telling you he's in contact with Justin. And Justin, okay.
All right. Let's update. Right there, that's another one. So on the same day, that morning before they found the Mercedes across the street in the backyard, where Govan, now check this out, had cameras watching everything. And you'll hear Cornelius testify to that in just 1 second. So he's actively watching cameras, watching out for the car.
That's Cornelius.
And that is the reason why Desmond Rogers got clipped right in front of Govan's house shortly after they found the car, because they damn near parked the car in the back of Desmond Rogers'
Why are they parking in front of their own house?
Backyard. That backyard where they parked the Mercedes lines up with the back of Desmond Rogers'
and Desmond Rogers got kicked because he was
backyard.
just out here.
So backyard. So they got him clipped because he can see all the traffic and everything that was happening. He see Big Jook coming in and out. He seen both of the shooters, Cornelius, Teezy had to be there, straight drop, and a whole lot of more activity. Once again, another victim of circumstances, just being in the hood, knowing too much.
At the wrong place at the right time.
That's what's up with that. Now, you remember the video I dropped not too long ago?
At the wrong place
at
the right place at the wrong time, bitch.
Penitentiary that says, did you know Govan in here walking around with us like he's locked up? We already talked about it. That means somebody is working. So why would he be working? I think I'm putting it together because I just got some new information that Cornelius, since he knows everything, he knows a hell of a lot. Once again, why would they relocate you?
So he know Big Jook. He know who took out Big Jook.
Relocate your family except for one sister who wants to be in the hood. All of a sudden, so Cornelius is telling who took out Teezy, Desmond Rderers, and Jook.
Oh shit!
Right? Now he knows, and even had a role in Dolph. It's sometimes it's the same
Damn, so
killers.
he know who took out Dolph.
But we
Not
gonna
Dolph,
get to
you know what I'm
that
saying?
as more information comes out.
And
Now you looking
Teezy.
at OG Booty, that's what I was just finna say, right? This is the brother of Stupid Duke.
So this
That's
nigga
what
might
I
be
was getting
snitching.
at. The last video I told y'all, why would they put Goban in the penitentiary with Stupid Duke? And I already showed y'all them dates. Well, this is the brother of Stupid Duke. I probably know about Young Mob, right? And you see who's standing next to all of this, right? Now you remember Flip from Houston? A lot of stuff coming out of Texas. Flip been in Memphis, just like what's the boy name from Houston that just got shot? Sauce Walker. So you know where the pipeline go.
That shit crazy.
Houston go. Say less, we'll get into it. Let's get it. True.
This conversation that you had at Quest with Jook was there. I think you said you went to buy X pills, correct?
Boy.
You weren't going over there for the specific purpose of saying you wanted to a chance at killing Dolph. Nah. Did you ever during that meeting that you had with Jook and Quest present, did you ever say that you can get up on Dolph real easy because you know where his aunt lives and you see him over there at least once a week?
We're about to find this out, man. What's going on, man?
Couple days after the shooting.
Did you tell Quet? Did you go by Quet's house?
Y'all think he
I got quick and told him that I was finna walk in the backyard so he'll know who walking over there. I ain't called him.
So you called him, you let him know. You walked through his backyard.
Not through his backyard. That I was finna walk in the backyard where the car was in.
Okay. Why would you need to tell Quet you were going to be at the car across the street?
Because he got killed. So I ain't want to think nobody trying to get him enough to get shooting at me. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Right. Strike three. Because Goban had cameras. He asked Cornelius, when you was going back over there to come wipe down the car, per Goban's orders, why did you have to call Goban and tell him that you was finna walk past his house to go in the backyard? Because he got cameras. I ain't want him to think nobody was coming at him because to make sure he won't shoot me. That means Goban has cameras pointed directly across the street from where the white Mercedes was found. And if you're looking at what I'm looking at on the screen with them teddy bears, that is the scene of when the day, a little bit shortly after they got the Mercedes, where somebody called Louis Desmond Rogers outside, and a car pulled up, jumped out, said a couple of words to him, and blew his brains out. When you see them teddy bears directly across the street, if you turn the camera, you pan the camera around on the other side of the street, that is what Cornelius is testifying to, that Goban stays diagonally across the street with his cameras pointed at the street, across the street, and down the street. So he has this murder of Desmond Rogers on camera, on tape. Listen to the testimony. Goban has this murder on tape. Now, is he using that as collateral? Bargaining chip? Ain't no way around this one. So if he has all this, and the feds and the state, you're gonna hear Cornelius testify to what Goban told him he was gonna do if the police come knocking at his door. So obviously he didn't either stash that footage or using that as a bargaining tool. Here goes the angle. His house is right across the street on the left side of that Bradley sign. So, wow. What's really going on, huh? Let's continue. True.
Hey, let him know what's up.
And just to be clear, does he have cameras?
Ooh, it's tricky, bitch.
Shooting out from it, like, facing out from his house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But testimony today is you called Quet and told him you were gonna go over there and wipe that car down.
Yeah. Okay. Like, a couple months after I sobered all the way up, while I was in jail, sobered all the way up. I had my senses like, it was wrong.
Okay. So you got December is when you go to jail. December 9th?
Yeah, December 9th.
So a couple months from then. You sober up, that's when you come to your senses.
Yeah, and then Justin had sent me a letter saying,
well, I'm not asking you what Justin sent you.
I'm saying what I automatically made me come to my senses and like, you know, it was wrong. You know what I'm saying? When he said, cut out loose, take Jook and quit down with me.
Okay. So you're saying Mr. Johnson sent you something saying, he actually said he didn't do it, right?
Nah, he didn't say he didn't do it. He said, cut him loose and take Jook and quit down with me because they ain't messing with us.
Oh, you mean tell the truth? Nah, he didn't have anything to do with it. Tell the truth.
Nah, he saying me take the downfall.
Oh, okay.
Cut him.
Oh, he want that nigga, the nigga who catch all the bodies.
Quit and him change clothes and quit with me.
He want that nigga to go down.
Did you get that kite?
Did you see him right?
Nah, I ain't seen him right. I'm in another part. We right.
You can't even see him.
When he asked me, did I get that kite?
Okay.
He sent me more than one. He sent another one and said he got 7K. I could take that. I'll leave.
Where's that?
I don't know where it's at.
You lost it.
Damn, so they want that nigga 7K and they want that nigga to take the body?
Okay.
Now it's getting interesting, right? What you just heard on that one, and this is just me summing it up. Is Cornelius testifying to the fact that Straight Drive got him a kite, a note, and got the rock man to drop it out to him where he was inside 201 Shelby County Jail. The note in short summary says, I got 7 bands, 7 G's. That's all I got. Cause Jook and Go Band leaving us out here to by ourselves and they ain't messing with us. I mean, they ain't paying, getting us no lawyers and not handling their business, just letting us take the downfall and trying to wash their hands.
Yeah.
So that's all I got. Just tell them it was you and Go Band instead of me and you is what he's saying.
So he's trying to get
that's just a summary on that. And what I found interesting and what y'all gonna hear also.
So these snitch, they found a note.
Another bombshell, and that's why Go Band is scrambling and got less time for gambling because he don't care about nothing but sports betting. And he ain't that good at it from what I heard. Is that he met Cornelius a day before. He tried to lure Cornelius
he don't know the nigga a day?
to South Haven, where he got arrested at. Remember, Go Band just got arrested heading to South Haven with some bogus tags and everything while he out on a bond for the murder of Young Dog. He do not care. So you gotta ask yourself, what's in South Haven? Well,
because that family let him go. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? You trying to do some goofy shit?
2021.
They brought him back.
Cornelius and Go Band had a meeting in South Haven, December the 8th, 2021. Cornelius got arrested on his way back to South Haven, December the 9th, 2021. Luckily for Cornelius, the police pulled him over because he, I do believe, was headed to his deathbed, being lured back to lose his life so that he won't be a liability, because you see what happened to Jook and Teezy, right? Even Straight Job was running from it, because that's what they do in this murder game. You can't turn it off, but everybody gonna be disposable if you ain't at the top of the food chain. So that's for to come out too. So let's keep breaking this down. I hope y'all appreciate it. Let's continue.
Yeah, we fuck with it because it's good.
For what you just testified to, then
Out there all locked up.
You got paid, right?
Lawyer was paid.
You got $50,000 to pay a lawyer, right?
I didn't get it in my hand. Great.
Straight drop is already cooked. Straight drop, they sent that nigga to life.
And there's no question that
That's
money was for services rendered. Killing Dolph. You took it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did your conscience bother you?
Come on.
Your conscience.
After I came to my senses here.
Did you say, I can't have that money? I can't use that money. But you still got a lawyer here.
I ain't say that.
You took the money.
Yeah, I took the money. I got
The original lawyer in your case got $50,000 to represent you. Did he not?
I don't know exactly how much he got. I don't know. I can't say.
All right. And you knew that we're all clear here. That money came from CMG. Right?
Yeah, I don't know exactly who, but yeah.
All right.
Okay, right here. I know that's self-explanatory. That money.
However you book, first check Kayak to find
Money
Boy, this shit getting crazy.
that you received for your lawyer came from CMG. I don't know how much it was, Cornelius said, but did it come from CMG?
Cause if it came from CNG,
You're
bro,
right. Yes, it did.
they might try to do a
I don't know how
RICO.
much it was, but
Jook
that's why
got
I have
hit
a
up.
lawyer here.
That's when the dudes was not like, you feel me?
Ooh-wee.
Cause he knew a lot about CMG.
That's on public record. Now, I have heard there's a lot of things going on with Gotti. A lot of people saying he getting prepared for something. He getting nervous now because quit scrambling, trying to get some intel. Cornelius Tellin, go in told first, but he broke his profit agreement. So I guess the numbers was too high because he turned down the plea deal, and now he going to work. So I don't see no other reason why he will be walking around in the pen when the pen got them burners, and they see you, they gonna call the streets. So, let's go. True.
The day that you shot Dolph, the day before that, did you know you were going to shoot Dolph?
Nah, I ain't know nothing about all these, but I ain't know we gonna catch Dolph or nothing. But the next day was the day we caught Dolph, that was my baby girl's birthday, to be honest.
Okay.
And I know I told her about a house, buying them a house and all that, because I knew that they already had hits on everybody's head, and we was out looking for somebody. We ain't know we were gonna catch Dolph. We ain't know who we were gonna catch.
Once again, there you go. They knew. I knew they already had bags.
You hear that nigga singing like a canary bitch?
A lot of PRA members had.
That nigga singing like a busted gas pipe.
Right? That's a strong statement right there, people. So that's another reason why Cornelius is tough. And his family tough. He knows more than y'all think he know.
We know.
So,
But I don't know if he gonna give it all up.
There's a lot of
Because if he gives it all up, the 12 gonna
that's
know.
where the feds
That's
come
a fact.
in. But let's continue.
Sure.
True.
When you met with Jook and Quet, Quet was doing most of the talking. Go ahead. Right?
He tough.
And you testified earlier about this, just to be clear, Govan, before they hit on Dolph, before you did it, had already negotiated with you to get $10,000.
Yeah, for me, and 10,000 from Jesse.
Okay. Now, I want to be clear about, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I want to make sure $10,000 to you, you talked about it before, and then he came back to you after the fact and asked you about the 10 because he wanted his money, right?
Yeah, I want him back too.
Okay. Now, you said today, pretty matter-of-factly, that he had the same $10,000 from Justin. But when you were interviewed by law enforcement in August, they asked you that. And you said, I think he had the same deal with Justin.
So you think he got paid more?
Right. So do you know it or do you think it?
I probably did say that then, but...
So how much was the whole? Was the whole thing $50,000?
So you're not sure?
I'm saying the same thing I said then.
Okay, that you think he did.
I'm saying the same thing I said then. You can put it how you want to put it, but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying?
I'm putting it the way you put it.
What I know, you know what I'm saying? What I know.
All right. Well, if you know it, why would you tell them then that you thought it? I think he got it. Why wouldn't you go? He got it. He had the same deal.
But you niggas not trying to go to jail and snitch. I mean, like the fuck? Are these crazy stupid? You know, this nigga might snitch at the end, but are these motherfuckers stupid?
Exactly. Hoping to walk free if you go in and testify in this case, right?
Before I talk to them folks and stuff like that, like, before I talk to them, that's what I'm telling my sister, them, like, I ain't never did no police ass shit, but, you know what I'm saying? Quinn already told them everything. They already knew everything, so. Quinn already told them everything. They already knew everything, so.
So he been a snitch.
So we already know that Quit had already told everything. They knew everything because Quit had already told them everything.
Ooh.
In stock and ready to ship free the next day.
Knew everything because Quit had already told them everything. See, that's so credible because as y'all better find out, Quit was already gonna tell them go holler at William Massey if they come questioning him. But you can't escape the fact that them cameras that was on his house, why y'all think they let him out?
Ooh.
On $9,000 bond.
Yeah,
He's the alleged mastermind, the one that
can you think they gave up the info?
facilitated this. That don't make him the mastermind, but it does make him
The one who put it
part of
together.
the conspiracy. So we can already assume one of his charges is conspiracy that carries up to 40 years.
Ooh.
And he got 2 more. So he guilty of that. Right? Let's go. True.
So, I might as well, you know, tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Tell my road, tell his road, you know what I'm saying? So, be honest.
Quit, and you bring up Quit in this letter. You even tell your sisters that when you saw Quit on December 8th,
So there you go right there. When you saw Govan on December the 8th, the very day before you got arrested, the next day on December the 9th, you had met up with Quit on December the 8th in South Haven. You was headed back the next day when you got hemmed up because they was waiting. And they probably saved your life. See, that's how the feds work. They already knew he was racing towards your death. And listen to his testimony.
So somebody was trying to kill him anyway?
What Quit told him when they come knocking on his door. And since they got all the evidence,
Boy.
cameras, all his testimony, proper agreement from Govan, he broke that. Now he's scrambling. Pay attention. True.
it was like he had a limited time to find somebody to pin this on. So I quit.
Hey, you know, I was just getting locked up, right? So I want you to
So
say,
Trump was trying to pin him, and they was gonna get him out the pen, but the police stopped him? Cornelius?
You didn't just got locked up. Agreed? You got locked up in December. This is in March.
Yeah, but I'm still just locked up over here. I came over here in January. So I'm over here now, and I know, man, everything I do, say, whatever, right? They might intercept it. They might listen up. They listen on the phone, so I can't talk like I really want to. You know, letters of it.
You repeatedly
This is real life,
say
gang.
these letters.
Well, y'all, we're gonna conclude this video right here for this
So
portion.
he might snitch on Desmond,
You're looking at Desmond
who
Rogers.
killed him, and Jook, who killed your guy's brother to get the
right
fuck out
across the street.
early.
Govan got it on camera.
Damn.
The day as soon as they found a Mercedes.
And Devin was just the nigga who was just outside who knew everything.
They clipped Desmond Rogers
He was
right
just
across the
outside.
street from the same place that they did all them activities. Washing the car,
Cause he knew what was going
bringing
on.
friends,
Got to
following
be no
Governor's orders, and even murdered Desmond Rogers in the same location. That tells y'all a lot. So I want to hear that innocent. My name True. Like, share, subscribe.
Alright, gang, let's look at Dose of Mystery. The slaughter of young Dolph, the orchestrated hit of Big Jook.
What's up, man? Hey, y'all. I'm finna start a GoFundMe, man, because I know a lot of you rap niggas up out here, man.
Sources close to the family of rapper Yo Gotti confirmed the man outside a Hickory Hill event center is Gotti's brother. Memphis police identified him as 47-year-old Anthony Mims, also known as Big Jook.
I don't play no bitch beside two real niggas with a in the middle, man. Y'all don't do that, man. Don't fuck about legacy. So right here, y'all.
Snipers, helicopters, and a massive police presence, all for the funeral of Yo Gotti's big brother, Big Jook. That's what people saw in Hickory Hill today outside of New Direction Christian
It's
Church.
just crazy. Yo Gotti left hours before Big Jook got cut, nigga. Got cut down, nigga. Like he
One
left.
afternoon in the middle of
My mama got
January
hit.
2024, Anthony Mims, known publicly as Big Jook and as world-famous Memphis rapper Yo Gotti's older brother, sat in his car after an emotional tolling farewell service where he and his friends and family members mourned the passing of Jook and Yo Gotti's dear uncle, Eric Bovin, who had passed away earlier that month. Sadly, just a few hours after the service was over, Big Jook would be facing his own untimely hit at the hands of his attackers, who allegedly attended the farewell service and waited in the back pews for the proceeding to be over so they could ambush and take the life of Big Jook at his most vulnerable moment. As of today, the investigation is still ongoing as police are following a trail of leads to find Big Jook's assailants and do justice in his name. It was around 4 p.m. on Saturday, July 13th, at the Paranon Restaurant and Events Center in Memphis, Tennessee, and to say the atmosphere was gloomy would be an understatement. Earlier that year, Big Jook and Yo Gotti's uncle, Eric Bovin, had passed away. And his farewell service in Memphis was the last opportunity that Jook and his brother had to gather with their friends and family members to honor his memory together and say goodbye to him for good. In a video that was later circulated online by TMZ and other sources, Big Jook was captured crying as he walked up to his uncle's open casket to say his final goodbyes. Because Yo Gotti had to catch a plane out of Memphis amid bad weather conditions, he left the service earlier than his brother, and there was not as much coverage on him as there was on Jook, who stayed at the event center for several hours after the service had ended. Shortly after the farewell service, Big Jook stepped outside the event center and walked back to his car, where his mother, Geraldine Mims, was sitting in silence. As Jook got in the car, his mother got out.
That makes no sense.
And that's when tragedy struck. A few seconds later, a white Ford SUV with tinted windows and black tires pulled up next to his car and opened fire, riddling Jook's car with bullets and striking Jook himself 10 times. According to a Facebook post made by the Memphis PD on January 14th, the day after the shooting, an officer in the area of 6385 Winchester Road at around 4:15 p.m. that day when he heard shots being fired near the Pregnant Event Center. Upon arriving at the scene, the officer found 2 males suffering from multiple gunshot wounds lying on the ground. Paramedics were immediately called to the scene to perform life-saving measures on the persons that were shot, and they were both promptly taken to nearby St. Francis Hospital. Sadly, as soon as they arrived, 47-year-old Anthony Mims, aka Big Jook, was pronounced deceased. As news of Jook's tragic passing spread throughout Memphis, many of his associates and close friends shared their condolences on social media. Rappers like ESTG, Big Boogie, Meek Mill, and Glorilla, some of whom were closely associated with Collective Music Group, Yo Gotti's record label in which Jook played a critical role, shouted out the fallen Jook with a series of touching stories and posts on Instagram. As for his brother Yo Gotti, he didn't have a lot of time to grieve the passing of his dear older brother. For less than a week after the tragic incident that claimed his life, Gotti was already back performing on stage at 42 Doug's concert at Little Caesars Arena, which took a lot of his fans by surprise. While the entire city and the hip-hop community grieved for Jook, the Memphis Police Department launched an investigation to find his assailants and bring them to justice. As the authorities analyzed surveillance footage from that afternoon, they noticed that at the time of the hit, Big Jook's mother had been standing very close to the car where her son was brutally assassinated. Had she remained in the car, it's very likely that she would have suffered the same fate as Jook. Unfortunately, none of those bullets hit her, and she was able to walk away physically unharmed. On the evening of the hit, Deputy Chief Paul Wright gave a press conference in which he updated the public on the progress of the investigation. According to Wright, the Memphis Police Department was hard at work trying to identify a suspect in the surveillance video. Unfortunately, despite their advanced facial recognition technology, the faces of the suspects were unrecognizable due to the grainy quality of the footage. Still, they were hopeful that with the make and model of the SUV that was visible in the video, they would soon find Jook's assailant. Disturbingly, just hours after the investigation began, many sources who had been close to Jook during his final moments claimed that the suspects who had carried out his hits had also been present at Eric Boven's funeral. As per their statements, the assailants sat there the entire service in the back pews of the event center, and minutes before it ended, they stepped out into the parking lot to wait for Big Jook to exit so they could ambush him in his car. Although this version of the event was not captured by surveillance videos, the authorities are still hopeful that the new leads will continue to be uncovered during the investigation. The identity of Jook's assailants is still a mystery to this day, but even if this hasn't been officially confirmed, police suspect Big Jook's hit may have been carried out in retaliation for his alleged involvement in the 2021 hit of Young Dolph. To understand the entire backstory, let's rewind to 2017, when Big Jook first got involved with Young Dolph. Since 2012, Big Jook had an active role in managing the business side of Collective Music Group, actively scouting talent and managing and promoting projects for the label. In 2016, up-and-coming Memphis rapper Young Dolph was set to sign with Collective Music Group, Yo Gotti's label, but changed his mind at the last minute. After Yo Gotti allegedly took offense to his lack of commitment, Young Dolph shouted out Yo Gotti in a disrespectful tweet on February 11, 2016, in which he said, "Bro went from being my #1 fan and wanting to sign me to being my biggest hater," followed by a laughing emoji. In the interviews that followed the disrespectful tweets, Yo Gotti initially downplayed the issue and dismissed it as nothing important. But the situation would escalate very quickly soon after that, when Black Youngster, another up-and-coming rapper associated with Collective Music Group, uploaded a video of him and his crew walking around Young Dolph's neighborhood in Memphis, armed with multiple weapons and threatening to take Dolph's life as soon as they found him. Although they didn't end up finding him that day, Dolph didn't exactly turn down the heat after that. And exactly a year after his disrespectful tweet, he released his highly controversial diss track titled "Play With Your B," which featured a series of personal insults aimed at Yo Gotti and Big Jook, even disrespecting Jook's sister with some very direct lyrics. To make a long story short, between February and September 2017, Young Dolph survived 2 hit attempts, one in Charlotte, North Carolina, in which his van was sprayed with over 100 rounds of ammunition as he prepared to perform at the CIAA sporting tournament, and another in Los Angeles, where he was targeted by one of Yo Gotti's associates. After those 2 violent incidents, the Yo Gotti versus Young Dolph controversy quieted down for about 4 years, until in November 2021, Dolph was hit outside a store in Memphis in broad daylight in what is now known as one of the city's most infamous hits of the decade.
Sometimes.
In the month following the hit,
Why is these
Big
niggas
Jook
so
was captured on
mad
camera one night
when
with
they
a
be
man
rich
named
as hell?
Hernandez Govan, father
These
to
niggas
late
like they
Memphis
broke
rapper
as fuck right
Lada
now.
Cash
These niggas are rich as
Getout, and
hell.
one of the men responsible
Are
for
they just
orchestrating
bored?
Young
Like,
Dolph's
what's
hit.
going on?
As the picture
These
circulated
really
online, speculations that
I know
Big
it's street
Jook
beef and street
could
beef
have been
can get
involved
get
in
crazy in
organizing
an instant.
Dolph's
Nigga
hit
die
started
easily.
spreading.
But
But instead of laying low and waiting for the heat to die down, Jook went
like
live
when
on
you kill
social media
somebody,
soon
yeah, I
after
can
the
see
picture
it.
was
It's
uploaded
revenge killing.
and recklessly disrespected the
It's
deceased
just,
young
man,
Dolph
it's
in
a
what
lot.
later became a very viral video.
People gotta understand
Although
street
the
beef.
link between Jook's
People
involvement
done got
in his
killed
brother's
before.
feud with Yo Gotti and his
Like,
untimely
it's a lot.
passing still hasn't been officially confirmed. One thing that's certain is that Big Jook suspected that he was a target. On Friday, January 12th, just hours before his hit, Big Jook posted a video of himself on Instagram with the ominous caption, "They don't want to face you, they want to snake you. Stay alert to stay alive, watch your back at all times, put snakes on the plate, and eat great." Despite his fans' allegations and conspiracy theories, it's unlikely that Big Jook predicted his own hit. But still, the post is a little chilling in hindsight. On Wednesday, January 31st, 2024, Big Jook's family organized his farewell service in Hickory Hill outside of New Direction Christian Church. But because of the high-profile nature of his hit, this was no ordinary farewell service. Surrounding the event from all angles were snipers, helicopters, and dozens of police officers from the Memphis Police Department, lining the perimeter and standing at the ready to ensure the safety of all funeral goers. According to Fox 13 Memphis, there were both private and public security at the service, with 25 armed guards covering the farewell service inside the church, outside in the reception area, and on the roof, having been hired directly by the Mims family to prevent a similar incident to Eric Bovin's farewell service from happening. Despite his tragic passing, Big Jook will continue to be remembered as one of the fundamental pillars of CMG, and as an important part of the Memphis hip-hop community. May his legacy continue to live on through his brother, friends, family members, and CMG associates who love and respected him for the fun-loving, protective man he was. Rest in peace, Big Jook.
Shout out to 504 Street Stories and Gangsta News Network. We looking still into that Big Jook shit, man.
Crimes charged and plea. The first count of the indictment charges the offense of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder.
On November 17, 2021, our lives changed forever.
Embraced and included within the offense are the lesser included offenses: facilitation to wit, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder.
A son, a father, a brother, a friend, a businessman, a music artist, a philanthropist, and life partner are all among just some of the titles that my brother Adolph Robert Thornton Jr. held.
The second count of the indictment charges the offense of first-degree murder. Embraced and included within the offense are the lesser included offenses of second-degree murder, facilitation to wit, first-degree murder, facilitation to wit, second-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter,
They getting hit with this baseball on this bitch.
Facilitation to wit, voluntary manslaughter, facilitation to wit, aggravated assault, simple assault, facilitation to wit, simple assault.
I want to say thank you to the jury for their service and decision in this case to bring us one step closer to justice for our family, friends, supporters, and the community that has supported us during this time.
Third count of the indictment charges the offense convicted felon in possession of a firearm.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in count 2 of the indictment. And we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of convicted felon in possession of a firearm as charged in count 3 of the indictment.
Ooh. That's life, my boy.
Hip-hop
life.
is the only genre of music where beef on wax converts to real-life beef in the streets, ultimately ending up with bloodshed and murder. What starts out as a war of words quickly escalates to gun violence.
That's a
The
fact.
rest is history. A study conducted showed that murder was the cause of 51.5% of deaths of all American hip-hop artists. Many of these artists who had been murdered had not seen life past the age of 30, being that their lives were taken at such a young age. More often than not, retaliatory killings have followed most of these murders. It's no secret that violent crime in Memphis, Tennessee has been on a steady increase over the past 10 years, with some crimes breaking records.
Here at home, Memphis police put out this surveillance photo showing a drive-by shooter. The man armed with a rifle shot and wounded 3 juveniles Saturday. This happened on Dietrich Avenue near Baltimore Street in Orange Mound. Anyone who can help police identify the shooter is asked to call Crime Stoppers.
In 2023, Memphis saw a record-breaking number of homicides. The murder rate in Shelby County increased by 50% in 2023.
Memphis leaders are battling the crime that has been plaguing our city, but the latest numbers released by Memphis police show just how dire the situation is. Our WREG's Ashley Paul spoke with city leaders about the drastic increase we've seen over the last year. She joins us now live outside MPD with the latest. Ashley?
Steph, well, according to Memphis police, there have been 91 more homicides this year compared to last year at this time. And as crime continues to go up, people continue to be fed up.
Ready to be waking up with murder.
We have to do better as a community. We have to stop the senseless acts of violence that continue to plague the city of Memphis.
Memphis police officer Chris Williams pleading with the community today to stop the violence after working the scene of the 352nd homicide in the city so far this year.
We're tired of it. This community is tired of it. We have to do better.
According to the latest numbers by the Memphis Police Department this year, we have seen almost 100 more homicides than last year at this time. 352 this year compared to 261 last year. City Councilman Dr. Jeff Warren says it's heartbreaking, but not shocking.
I shoot you, okay? I kill you, then your brothers kill 2 of my siblings or relatives. And then my relatives kill 4 of yours. Okay, so you have that exponential growth in violence where people have a retaliatory thought process. And, that's not going to work in society.
Dr. Warren says city leaders are working to launch and improve crime intervention programs such as 901 Block Squad and GVIP. But he says it's going to take a collaborative effort that includes state leaders. Governor Bill Lee says the state is there to help Memphis in any way they can.
We've added additional troopers that would relieve some of the pressure on the Memphis Police Department to allow them to be more focused on fighting crime while our highway patrolmen are more focused on what's happening on the roads.
And Dr. Warren says the city will take all the help they can get with hopes of a brighter future for Memphis.
So you're optimistic about turning this around?
I have to be.
Zorro.com knows that every job is important.
Now, for more information on crime intervention programs in the city, you can visit our website, WREG.com.
Historically, North and South Memphis have always had their differences. Gangs, guns, and violence have led to blood spilling into the streets of Memphis, which brings us to our story. A heavily guarded funeral service was held on Wednesday, January 31st of 2024 in Memphis, Tennessee for Anthony Mims, a.k.a. Big Jook, the older brother of Memphis rapper and CMG record label head honcho Mario Yo Gotti Mims.
Snipers, helicopters, and a massive police presence, all for the funeral of Yo Gotti's big brother, Big Jook. That's what people saw in Hickory Hill today outside of New Direction Christian Church.
That's why MPD wanted to be prepared. They told us they put so much manpower in purpose there today. Fox 13's Walter Murphy was in Hickory Hill. He joins us live. Walter, it wasn't just MPD. There was private security there working the funeral as well, you found out.
Yeah, that's right, Daryl. There were private security officers there too, but the scene was so big that people that I talked to thought that it was just a large crime scene. Now, I want to get straight to that video from this afternoon. You can see there were dozens of Memphis Police Department squad cars in parking lots for blocks. There were even snipers on the church where the funeral was taking place. There was even a helicopter casing the church from the sky. Now, it was all out of an abundance of caution. That's according to the Memphis Police Department, who told Fox 13 that the high-profile nature of the funeral and the high-profile way that Big Jook lost his life earlier this month warranted all of this.
At the age of 47, Big Jook was shot and killed on January the 13th outside a Hickory Hill area restaurant where he had attended a repast following the funeral of a family member.
Sources close to the family of rapper Yo Gotti confirmed the man killed outside a Hickory Hill event center is Gotti's brother. Memphis police identified him as 47-year-old Anthony Mims, also known as Big Jook. Mims was shot in the parking lot of Pernon's Restaurant and Event Center. Another man who was shot is still alive but in the hospital. Tonight, police are looking for a white Ford Explorer SUV in connection with the shooting. It has dark tinted windows and black wheels. A witness told police they saw suspects in the SUV speeding away, and surveillance video also shows this. If you recognize this vehicle or have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH.
Police released surveillance footage of the vehicle they believe was involved in the shooting, but did not publicly identify any suspects due to the heated war that was spilling blood onto the streets of Memphis. The planning for Jook's funeral services at New Direction Christian Church in Hickory Hill were kept tightly under wraps. The Memphis Police Department monitored Jook's funeral service in a military-type support capacity. It's no secret that Gotti was on high alert, triggering him to hire a private security detail of approximately 25 armed guards to cover the funeral services inside the church and on the exterior, including the roof of the building. Anthony Mims, aka Big Jook, death came just hours after his final social media post. In it was a photo of Jook accompanied by the caption, "They don't want to face you, they want to snake you. Stay alert to stay alive. Watch your back at all times." On January the 13th, the following day, a Memphis Police Department officer was in the area of 6385 Winchester Road around 4:15 p.m. when he heard gunshots. The officer went to the location and found two victims with multiple gunshot wounds, both of whom were transported to the hospital. Jook was identified as the victim, who was pronounced deceased at the hospital. The second male victim was reported in stable condition.
Back to that story we told you about off the top of the broadcast, a deadly shooting in Hickory Hill with connections to Memphis rapper Yo Gotti. Fox 13's Lakia Scott joins us live tonight from St. Francis Hospital. That's where the victims were taken. Lakia, what were you able to find out? Good evening to you.
Good evening, Daniel. Well, at least 5 police sources have confirmed with Fox 13 that the person killed is Anthony Mims, also known as Big Jook. Now, Big Jook is the brother of rapper Yo Gotti.
The MPD stated the officer discovered Jook in a vehicle outside Paragon's restaurant and event center. Jook had attended a repast there following the funeral of his relative, Eric Bovan. Unbeknownst to many, Eric Bovan was a well-known Memphis kingpin in the 80s and head of the Bovan family. He was also a former partner of the aunt of Yo Gotti and Big Jook, died on December 31st at the age of 63. In a press conference held on January the 13th, MPD Deputy Chief Paul Wright said police were analyzing video but did not have a suspect identified at the time. Chief Wright said it was also not clear if there were multiple shooters. On January the 14th, police confirmed that suspects in a white SUV were believed to be responsible for the shooting. MPD released images captured on surveillance video of the vehicle, a white Ford Explorer with black wheels and dark tinted windows. Since releasing the images of the vehicle, Memphis police would not give further updates on the case. I was Big Jook killed and who murdered him, On November 17th of 2021, Dolph Thornton, aka Young Dolph, was shot and killed. Dolph's murder was the result of an ongoing war between Gotti's CMG camp and Dolph's People Route Empire organization. The roots of the Dolph Gotti feud began more than a decade ago in 2014, and Dolph was just emerging as a mixtape artist on the scene. The beef would ultimately end with Dolph losing his life at the hands of gunmen who were paid off by Big Jook. Although the streets of Memphis already knew what had went down, the rest of the world would not learn the intimate details until September the 24th of 2024, when one of Dolph's accused killers would testify during trial. It's an obvious no-brainer that the murder of Big Jook was indeed associated with the murder of young Dolph. While most social media onlookers point the finger at PRE, something deeper, darker, and more sinister was brewing in the streets of Memphis. Contrary to popular belief, the streets of Memphis are saying that nobody from Dolph's circle had anything to do with Jook's murder. Instead, the streets would refute those rumors, claiming that crash outs from South Memphis slid on Big Jook for the get back. After it all, Dolph's sister will finally speak out on his murder.
On November 17, 2021, our lives changed forever. A son, a father, a brother, a friend, a businessman, a music artist, a philanthropist, and life partner are all among just some of the titles that my brother Adolph Robert Thornton Jr. held. Titles that have now left a missing piece in the lives of so many. I want to say thank you to the jury for their service and decision in this case to bring us one step closer to justice for our family, friends, supporters, and the community that has supported us during this time. Thank you to Judge Mitchell, Shelby County District Attorney's Office, including Paul Hangerman and his team, the MPD, U.S. Marshals, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and other investigators and staff that assisted us with this investigation and case, ensuring that those responsible for this crime and involved with this crime have and will be brought to justice for their actions. We realize this act of violence has impacted so many outside of our family and friends. Your outpouring of love and support throughout this process does not go unnoticed. We ask that instead of focusing on those who committed this crime, you focus on the man that Adolph Robert Thornton was. Regardless of the name that you may know him as, such as Adolph, Dolph, or young Dolph, we ask you to remember the man who enjoyed being a father and spending time with his family. We ask that you remember the man who enjoyed giving opportunities to those who are often overlooked and counted out. We ask that you remember the man who enjoyed giving back to others and being an inspiration to those who come from less than ideal backgrounds, and knowing that they are seen and can change their outcomes and the lives of others by doing something positive. We will continue to heal and keep Adolph's legacy alive. We ask that the public and the media continue to keep our family in their prayers, as well as continue to respect our privacy during this time and the next steps of the judicial process as justice is served for all.
Man, them niggas stupid. The ones who took out Big Jook is smart as fuck.
Everyone's afraid of God.
Alright, we back. See, y'all see from that motherfucking. Y'all think Cornelius gonna snitch? The other nigga cooked. Straight job, he cooked. They already sentenced that nigga with life. He gone. Cornelius was the only dude they let go for free. And we all wondering why they let that nigga go for free. Y'all think he gave up the recording to the people who took out that dude in front of the crib and Big Jook? At the end of the day, man, there's no honor among like people who like trying to get it. These niggas trying to survive. They got family and kids to feed. Y'all already said. Y'all already heard Crip what he said. He said, man, I got family and kids. I was gonna buy them niggas a house. So it's like, nigga, he's like, am I really finna stay in prison for a nigga who done died already? Big Jook already dead. Young Dolph dead. Them niggas was trying to set my ass up. So I don't know how this situation gonna happen, because he already been fucking up with the feds already when he got released. Bruh, now, y'all see the difference between your young Dolph killers and the ones who took out Big Jook? They don't know who did that shit. The Dolph shit, they was on the front line on who did that shit, like that night. So, hey, who knows? We living in a time where, nigga, anybody can get blammed up. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be cautious. And, hey, move smart. We out this bitch. Hood, Northside, beat crip, gang, Northside shit.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. Even though this is instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.